You just press down on this lever with your thumb and then pull the trigger.
Pan's Labyrinth is one of the most highly acclaimed films ever made, receiving 7 Oscar nominations at the time and currently placing at 142 on the IMDb Top 250 and 224 on the Letterboxd Top 250. Written and directed by Guillermo del Toro and released in 2006, the story follows bookworm Ophelia venture into a fantasy world after moving with her mother to be with a barbaric army captain. The film is fueled by del Toro's love and fascination for monsters, which is brought to life with absolutely fantastic costume and production design.
It's a very, very good design.
While Pan's Labyrinth is often described as a fairy tale, it isn't for kids.
No.
If I had to come up with a cheesy Blu-ray review quote, I would say Pan's Labyrinth is a wonderfully captivating, grim tale of escapism. Which, don't get me wrong, is due to the outstanding performance by Ivana Baquero and ethereal-like cinematography, but is mainly due to the script that handles themes of fascism and how it's depicted, whether it's through the story itself and dialogue, or, look at the title of the video, dummy, visuals. So I'm gonna show you an example of how visuals can provide context as well as aesthetic pleasure. Now, don't worry, you should be able to watch this video if you haven't seen the film. Your experience with the film won't be much different if you watch this first, but if you want to be safe, then, watch the film first, because it's bloody great. I love how the whole film comes together, and hopefully you will as well. And maybe you may even appreciate the film even more after seeing this video. First, I need to give context to enable you to understand how the film provides for said context. Okay, so, in Spain, 1944, where and when the film is set, they were under the rule of one Francisco Franco after the Spanish Republic lost the Spanish Civil War to him 5 years prior. Franco strived for nationalism as he did not respect democracy. In simple words, he was a dictator that caused Spain to be subject to a lot of inequality due to his far right-sided views. In even simpler words, he was not a nice guy in the slightest. He was responsible for around 250,000 deaths. Therefore, Spaniards turned to socialism, the political theory advocating regulation by the whole community, which is the opposite of nationalism, as well as turning to communism and even anarchism, the often violent belief that rejects hierarchical forms of which a country is run by. This was in a bid to attempt to not be silenced by the fascist government that tried to suppress them. So we got the far right leaders and the far left rebels, portrayed in the film by Captain Vidal and Dr. Ferrero. That should be enough info to talk about the scene I want to talk about. I won't give context to the scene itself as I don't want to give spoilers, but in this scene we have Captain Vidal, the film's substitute Franco, and Dr. Ferrero, the film's people. In this scene, the lighting is key. We can see Vidal and the left side of his face, which is the right side to the audience, is illuminated. When we cut to the reverse shot of Ferrero, we see that he is lit up from the left side. Can you see where I'm going with this? Vidal has far right-sided political views, and that is literally shown on his face. Ferrero has left-sided political views, and that is represented by how the light comes from the left side of the frame onto him. This lighting also communicates their power levels to one another, as well as the right has always been symbolic for the powerful. I presume as most people are right-handed, so people saw that as superior, while left has typically been symbolic for weakness. Again, as I presume that left-handed people are the minority and were therefore looked at as inferior. But obviously, the lighting isn't all that goes into the visuals. Cinematography and blocking are key factors as well, and these also convey their power levels. In this shot, we see Vidal in the foreground with Ferrero behind him, which illustrates the chain of hierarchy, as Vidal is a fascist leader, while Ferrero is a socialist doctor. Also, notice the composition. Vidal is on the right, and Ferrero the left. Then later on, we see an over-the-shoulder shot of Vidal, which places him above Ferrero, just like he is above him in terms of hierarchy and therefore strength. Him also appearing larger than Ferrero could symbolize how he is like a monster ready to eat him up, just like how fascists would silence anyone who had differing opinions from them. Okay, that's the whole that's the example, and the main part of the video is over now. So the weather's been kind of crazy. Yes, I know, this didn't have to be a video as it's about such a minuscule thing in the film, but I love editing, so I wanted to get this video out before my channel loses any semblance of a consistent upload schedule. The main reason for the uploads being so sparse is I'm back at school, and it's big school now, so I got much more work to do, not giving me the time to do this as much. In fact, this video is essentially a portion of an essay I handed in for my film studies class. Anyway, I hope you now know how visuals provide context and connote meaning in Bread's Labyrinth, which you most probably already did because this is quite basic when it comes to filmmaking, but I thought it was interesting. I like the film, I like making these videos, so yeah, this is how I wish all films gave context and exposition, subtly, without spouting it in an unnatural line of dialogue, which, if you know me, you know I despise that. I have a whole 27-minute video about it, which is nearly 2 years old now. Oh my god, that's insane, so it might not even be good, but I'm really proud of that video, and I feel this video, that one, and my Office US video all work together as great companion pieces on how to give the audience information in an efficient way. Anyway, I'm gonna go, which is signified by how you can hear an electro pop song playing now, which is what I do in all of my videos when I get to the end. Wait, I just spewed all of that out in an unnatural line of dialogue. Oh, Let me plug in my buggy into the wuggy. Whether it's you fucking cunt. How visuals can give context. Pan's Labyrinth. Oh my god.